this time I am going to be calling the Changeling Connection. It is going to be a rewrite. Well, sort of a rewrite, sort of a reimagining of a novel you may have seen me go through in my first writing ramble video. Called The Sharonican Chronicles. So I'm going to be, in this video, I will be planning out the characters that appear in this novel. The characters that appear in this novel, as well as the setting and maybe some general things about the cast and races, etc., that appear in this book. With me, I've got my trusty Hellride book. Not sponsored, obviously. And a few assorted pins, just in case I need to make important notes with a red pen or something. You never know. So, without further ado, let's just get on with the video. So, first of all, we have Justin. I'm going to be reusing this character from the Sharonican Chronicles, but I am going to be spicing things up just a little bit, if you want to call it that. So, once again, he's going hands. Okay.
His mother. My brain is jumping ahead of my hands. Oh no. Mother. As she often does. Comments on this during supper. But Justin, or Jay, yeah, Justin, tries to ignore this. After supper, Justin helps organize the basement. Again, much complaining. Finds his mother's pregnancy slash, I don't know what you call this, child care, raising journal. Okay, kind of explanation here, because I don't know what the heck the word is for this. I'm sure there is. I know there is a phrase or a word for this. But basically, like, you know those journals that expecting mothers use to, like, document their pregnancy and all, like, the milestones that their kid has up until age, like, I don't know, like 3 to 5. Basically, he's gonna find one of those for his mother. So he's gonna open it and finds his mother's insecurities with raising Justin. Post switch. And so that is going to be the end of chapter 1. And then we've got chapter 2. I'm gonna underline these. So chapter 2, understand.